Millions of diesel owners don't know they're shortening their engine's lifespan and heading straight to expensive car repairs. But here's the twist. There's secrets that can make your car last longer. Let's dive in. Secret number 1. Don't follow your recommended oil change interval. The sweet spot for diesel engine longevity isn't following the manual's maximum intervals. It's changing oil every 5,000 to 7,500 miles, regardless of what the manufacturer claims is possible. You might be wondering why not follow the 10,000 to 15,000 mile interval. Well, let me explain. Here's the reality. Diesel engines create significantly more combustion byproducts than gasoline engines. We're talking about higher soot levels, more acidic conditions, and greater thermal stress on the oil. Professional mechanics who specialize in diesel rebuilds consistently see a pattern. Engines with shorter oil change intervals maintain cleaner internal components, show less turbocharger deterioration, and keep their fuel injection systems operating like new for hundreds of thousands of miles. The math is simple. Spending an extra $100 annually on oil changes can prevent 5-figure engine rebuilds. Experienced operators choose their interval within that 5,000 to 7,500 mile window based on operating conditions. Heavy towing, dusty environments, or frequent stop-and-go driving pushes them toward the lower end of that range. This next secret is something that 99% of drivers don't know can make their engine last. Secret number 2. Fix your car with one warning light. Starting a diesel engine properly is kind of an art that a lot of drivers never fully master, especially when it gets cold out. Unlike gasoline engines that use spark plugs, diesels rely on compression and glow plugs to achieve ignition, and there's a right way and a wrong way to use this system. The golden rule experienced diesel drivers swear by is simple. Always wait for the glow plug light to completely turn off before you even try to start. This seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how many folks try to rush this process, especially when they're running late. In moderate temperatures, one glow plug cycle is usually enough. But here's the professional secret for extreme cold conditions. Cycle the glow plugs twice before you try to start. Turn the key to the on position, wait for the glow plug light to go off, turn the key back to off, then repeat the process before cranking. This double cycle technique preheats the combustion chambers more thoroughly. It also reduces the stress on your starter motor and battery, which both work a lot harder when trying to start a cold diesel engine. Some experienced drivers in extremely cold climates even cycle 3 times before starting, but 2 cycles are usually enough for most conditions. Remember, patience during the glow plug cycle prevents hard starting. Now for something that mechanics don't tell, you can make your engine 10 times better. Secret number 3. The right way to replace fuel filter. Your fuel filter is the guardian angel of your injection system, yet most drivers treat it like an afterthought. Experienced drivers change fuel filters every 10,000 to 15,000 miles, without exception. And here's why this matters more than you might think. Diesel fuel carries more contamination than gasoline. We're talking water, dirt, microbial growth, and metal particles. A clogged fuel filter doesn't just reduce performance, it can cause catastrophic injection system failure. Professional drivers often install secondary water separator filters as additional insurance. Here's the pro technique. When changing filters, always relieve fuel pressure first by pulling the fuel pump fuse and running the engine until it dies. This prevents fuel spray everywhere. Work in a well-ventilated area and never use generic filters. Stick with OEM or high-quality equivalents. A $40 filter protects against $4,000 plus fuel system repair. Secret 4. Don't follow manufacturer coolant intervals. Experienced drivers know that coolant isn't just about preventing overheating. It's about preventing expensive internal engine damage, and they flush coolant every 2 to 3 years or 50,000 miles. Not the manufacturer's suggested 100,000 plus miles. Modern coolants start as excellent protectors, but after years of heat cycles, they turn acidic. Once acidic, they stop protecting and start corroding from the inside out. We're talking corroded water pumps, eaten seals, clogged heater cores, and worst of all, head gasket leaks. Veteran drivers use manufacturer-approved coolant formulations and even run test strips to check additive levels. Diesel engines run hotter and under more pressure than gas engines, so their cooling systems need to be in top shape. Some experienced drivers even check for cylinder liner cavitation protection, because overheating a diesel just once can cause irreversible damage. Here's the chemistry. Diesel engines generate more combustion pressure and heat, which accelerates coolant additive breakdown. As additives deplete, coolant becomes acidic, and loses its ability to prevent electrolysis. Now here's a mind-blowing secret mechanics hides from you because they want profit. Before that, if these videos give you valuable tips that you didn't know about, hit that like button. We'd greatly appreciate it. We've got secrets you definitely don't know about. And number 7 will save you $4,000 in car repairs. Let's proceed. Secret 5. Improve your engine with one replacement. Clean air equals clean combustion and longer engine life. Experienced drivers inspect and replace air filters much more frequently than manufacturers suggest, especially in dusty conditions. And here's why this affects power more than most people realize. Engines needs massive volume of air to perform better and more efficient. A typical diesel truck engine consumes over 2,000 cubic feet of air per minute at full load. That's enough to completely fill a bedroom in 30 seconds. A clogged air filter restricts this airflow, reducing power, increasing fuel consumption, and adding strain to the turbocharger. Veterans often upgrade to reusable performance filters or install pre-filters for additional protection. They know that in dusty or off-road conditions, air filters need attention every 5,000 to 8,000 miles instead of the typical 15,000 to 20,000. Some pros even install air filter restriction gauges to monitor filter condition in real time. A $30 air filter protects a $15,000 plus engine and turbo system. Experienced drivers in dusty environments carry spare filters for extended trips. This next one can extend your engine's lifespan, but millions of car owners ignores it. Secret 6. Save your engine by monitoring EGT. Exhaust gas temperature, or EGT monitoring, is one of the most important performance metrics for engines, especially if you tow or run performance tunes. Experienced drivers never operate without EGT awareness, and here's why this could save your entire engine. High EGTs indicate combustion temperatures are climbing, which can stress or damage pistons, valves, and turbos. Veteran drivers install EGT gauges or monitor them through OBD Diagnostics to ensure temperatures stay under 1,250 degrees Fahrenheit during sustained loads. They know that letting EGTs spike repeatedly shortens engine life, even if everything else seems fine. When towing steep grades or running hard, they back off the throttle if EGTs climb too high. This simple awareness prevents catastrophic engine damage. Here's why this matters. Aluminum pistons begin to soften and deform around 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit, while exhaust valves can warp at similar temperatures. Professional drivers understand that EGT patterns can diagnose engine problems. Sudden spikes might indicate failing injectors, while gradually climbing temperatures suggest clogged DPF or exhaust restrictions. You'd be surprised by this next secret because it can prevent thousands of engine damage, and you probably are ignoring it. Secret 7. Save thousands with belt and hose. Experienced drivers perform regular visual inspections of belts and hoses because they know that a $20 belt failure can cause thousands in engine damage. They have a systematic approach to these checks that prevents roadside disasters. During every oil change, veterans inspect serpentine belts for cracking, fraying, or glazing. They check all hoses for soft spots, bulges, or weepage. They pay special attention to upper and lower radiator hoses, heater hoses, and any DEF system lines. Experienced drivers replace belts proactively rather than waiting for failure, typically every 60,000 to 80,000 miles regardless of appearance. They know that belt failure can cause loss of charging, cooling, and power steering, potentially leading to engine overheating and catastrophic damage. A few minutes of inspection prevents roadside emergencies and expensive towing bills. You'd be surprised by this. A single serpentine belt often drives the alternator, water pump, power steering pump, air conditioning compressor, and cooling fans simultaneously. Veterans replace hoses on a preventive schedule because rubber deteriorates from the inside out, often appearing fine externally, while the inner liner is failing. This next one will shock you. It can extend your car's battery life in one simple step. Secret 8. Extend your car lifespan during cold weather. Experienced diesel drivers in cold climates have developed starting protocols that extend the life of starters, batteries, and glow plug systems. These techniques go beyond basic glow plug cycling and could save you from expensive cold weather failures. Veterans use block heaters religiously in sub-freezing weather, plugging in 2 to 4 hours before starting. They keep batteries on maintenance charges during storage periods because cold weather is brutal on battery capacity. Some experienced drivers even install battery blankets or relocate batteries to heated areas. They never attempt to start a cold diesel without proper glow plug cycling. and they avoid using starting fluid except in true emergencies. When starting in extreme cold, they let the engine warm up at idle for several minutes before driving, allowing oil to circulate and components to reach operating temperature gradually. But this isn't the only tip that can save your car from thousands in repairs. Secret 9. Predicting car problems before it happens. This is the secret that separates true professionals from weekend warriors. Regular oil analysis. Experienced owners send oil samples to laboratories every few changes to monitor engine health, and this could predict problems before they happen. Oil analysis reveals wear metals, contamination levels, fuel dilution, and additive depletion before problems become visible. Veterans track trends over time. Rising iron levels might indicate cylinder wear, and this can cause thousands in repairs. But oil analysis predicts this before it happens. Now for a secret that will definitely shock you. Secret 10. Fix your car engine with the right fuel. Experienced drivers are extremely particular about fuel quality and have systems in place to protect their expensive injection systems from contaminated fuel. This could protect your entire fuel system from thousands in damage. Veterans stick to trusted fuel stations and often add fuel conditioning additives to protect against water, improve lubricity, and prevent microbial growth. They're especially careful with ultra-low sulfur diesel, or ULSD, because it lacks the natural lubricating properties that older diesels were designed for. Many experienced drivers carry fuel test kits to check for water contamination, especially when fueling at unfamiliar stations. Some install additional water separator filters or fuel polishing systems. They know that poor fuel quality can cause injection system damage costing thousands, so they invest in prevention rather than repairs. Here's what most people don't know. The refining process that removes sulfur also removes natural lubricants that protected older injection systems. This reduced lubricity can cause premature wear in high-pressure pumps. Experienced drivers even visually inspect fuel before pumping, looking for unusual color, debris, or separation that indicates contamination. Now for a secret only most professional drivers know about. Secret 11. Making engine performance better with DPF. Modern diesels with DPF systems perform regeneration cycles to burn off trapped soot, but most drivers don't recognize when it's happening or how to let it complete properly. Experienced drivers have mastered this process, and here's how it could save your DPF system. DPF regeneration raises exhaust temperatures to clean the filter, and interrupting this process repeatedly leads to clogged filters and expensive repairs. Veterans recognize the signs: elevated idle speed, slight burning smell, increased fuel consumption, or dashboard indicators. When regeneration starts, they let it finish completely, never shutting off the engine mid-cycle. Some experienced drivers even trigger manual regenerations when their truck allows it. They know that city driving and short trips don't provide enough heat for natural regeneration, so they plan highway drives accordingly. Properly managed DPF systems can last 200,000 plus miles. This next one will make your engine last twice as long compared to its regular lifespan. Secret 12. Improve engine efficiency with one check. Experienced owners regularly check for excessive blow-by when combustion gases escape past piston rings into the crankcase. This simple check reveals engine internal health better than almost any other diagnostic, and it's something you can do in your own driveway. Remove the oil fill cap with the engine running and look for excessive smoke or pressure escaping. Veteran buyers always perform this check when considering used diesels. High levels mean the engine is past its prime or needs a rebuild. You can also check the crankcase vent tube or dipstick tube for excessive pressure. Some experienced drivers even use manometer gauges to measure exact blow-by levels. Catching excessive blow-by early prevents major mechanical failures and saves thousands in unexpected repairs. Here's a pro tip that'll blow your mind. Different blow-by characteristics reveal specific wear patterns. Oil smoke suggests worn rings, while coolant contamination indicates head gasket problems. Secret 13. Save your transmission with one simple method. Trucks often haul heavy loads, putting immense strain on transmissions. Experienced drivers treat transmission maintenance as seriously as engine care, and they have specific protocols that could save you thousands. Veterans change transmission fluid every 30,000 to 50,000 miles instead of waiting for manufacturer intervals that can stretch to 100,000 plus miles. When towing, they use tow-haul mode appropriately and avoid high RPM shifts under load. Many experienced drivers also avoid excessive throttle while backing up under load, as this can stress transmission components. They know that a failed transmission can be as expensive as a blown engine, and just as preventable with smart maintenance and driving habits. Now for a secret that saves car owners $4,000 every year. Secret 14. Diagnostic method that saves you thousands. The #1 diagnostic secret that separates professional diesel operators from everyone else is regular compression testing. Experienced fleet managers and mechanics perform compression tests annually or whenever performance issues arise, giving them critical insight into engine health that prevents catastrophic failures. A diesel compression test measures the pressure each cylinder generates during the compression stroke, revealing internal engine condition better than any other single diagnostic procedure. Healthy engines should produce between 275 to 500 psi per cylinder, with no more than 10% variation between cylinders. Professional operators invest in a quality diesel compression tester rated for at least 1000 psi, along with the proper adapters for their specific engine. The testing process involves removing glow plugs or injectors, disabling fuel delivery, and measuring each cylinder's compression while cranking the engine. Now for a secret only the most experienced mechanics knows about. Secret 15. Save money with turbo cooldown. Most vehicles today come equipped with turbochargers, and this is where honestly a lot of drivers unknowingly set themselves up for some really costly repairs. After driving hard, towing heavy loads, or doing sustained highway driving, experienced owners never immediately shut off their engines. Instead, they follow what's known as the turbo cooldown protocol. After any high-stress driving, just let your engine idle for 30 to 60 seconds before turning it off. This simple habit can honestly save you from a turbocharger replacement, which typically costs thousands to replace. Here's why this matters. Your turbocharger spins at incredible speeds. We're talking about 150,000 to 250,000 RPM. When you're driving hard, that turbo gets extremely hot, reaching temperatures over 1800 degrees Fahrenheit. If you shut off the engine immediately, you cut off the oil circulation while the turbo is still spinning at high speed and high temperature. This causes the oil around the turbo bearings to cook and form deposits, which eventually leads to bearing failure. The cooldown period allows the turbo to slow down while oil is still circulating, preventing this kind of heat-related damage. Secret 16. Protect your fuel. Pump with this method. My next secret might just be one of the most important ones yet. Experienced diesel drivers have an unbreakable rule. Never let your fuel tank drop below a quarter tank. This isn't just about avoiding getting stranded. It's about protecting some of the most expensive components in your fuel system. Diesel fuel serves a dual purpose in your vehicle. Obviously, it's the energy source for combustion, but it also acts as a coolant and lubricant for your fuel injection system. Modern diesel injection systems operate at incredibly high pressures. We're talking about 25,000 to 30,000 psi in common rail systems. When you run low on fuel, several bad things happen at the same time. First, your fuel pump starts sucking air along with fuel, which can cause vapor lock and erratic fuel delivery. Second, without enough fuel to cool and lubricate the injection pump, temperatures rise and wear accelerates dramatically. Even worse, running out of fuel can damage your injection pump, which can cost thousands to replace. Plus, the bottom of your tank collects sediment and water that gets sucked up when you're running on fumes. Experienced drivers maintain at least a quarter tank at all times and never let their fuel level drop below an eighth of a tank. Now for the last secret that you definitely don't know exists, but can protect your engine in the long run. Secret 17. Protect your engine. With one drive, engines are engineered for sustained high-temperature operation, and when they're deprived of this, serious problems begin accumulating rapidly. Experienced diesel operators follow what they call the highway heat treatment. At least once weekly, they take their diesel on an extended highway run, maintaining higher RPMs and full operating temperature for a minimum of 15 to 20 minutes. This isn't optional maintenance, it's essential therapy for your engine. During city driving and short trips, your diesel never achieves its optimal combustion temperature, leading to incomplete fuel burning. This creates carbon deposits throughout the intake system, clogs the diesel particulate filter, and causes what professionals call wet stacking, where unburned fuel contaminates your engine oil. The highway heat treatment reverses this damage by burning off accumulated deposits, naturally regenerating your exhaust after treatment system and maintaining proper turbocharger operation. After a proper highway session, you'll immediately notice smoother operation, improved throttle response, and better overall performance. Remember, diesel engines thrive under sustained loads. It's the constant low-temperature, light-duty operation that causes premature wear and expensive repairs. Now, did you know that there are actually mechanics who are lying and scamming you? Click this video to spot those fishy mechanic scams. Trust me, you will not regret it.